is my extra credit on the topic of the immune system. This image represents the immune system and all the different parts of the body that it's included in. Introduction. The immune system is a system of the body that defends against infection. It is made up of cells and proteins. The immune system keeps record of every germ it has encountered. It also disposes of unneeded components of the body. Anatomy of the immune system. The three components of the immune system are physical barriers, leukocytes, and lymphoid tissues. Two physical barriers are skin and mucous membranes. The leukocytes are composed of five main ones: the neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, monocytes, and lymphocytes. And lymphoid tissues are composed of B lymphocytes, or B cells, and T lymphocytes, or T cells. Pathogens. The four classes of pathogens and their modes of infection are viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Viruses insert themselves in host cells to produce more of themselves, and an example of this is rubella or chickenpox. Bacteria invades tissues and colonizes, and an example of this is strep throat or UTIs. Fungi releases fungal spores that are inhaled or have contact with the skin, and an example of this is ringworm or athlete's foot. And parasites invade a host through a vector or a fecal oral route, and an example of this is pinworms. Here is an example of what a virus looks like invading a host cell. Organization of the body's defenses. The body defends with the immune response and the non-specific response. The immune response has a humoral response and cell-mediated response, while the non-specific response is a quick response against infection and includes phagocytic cells, which are drawn to the area of infection. Humoral immunity. When there is a specific antigen, B cells have long-lived memory, while plasma cells have short-lived memory. The long-term memory gives B cells long-term immunity, while plasma cells with their short-term memory target the antigen and destroy it. A real-life example of infection can be seen with Becky. Becky is 5 years old with an open wound, and she plays on the playground. When she's done playing, she notices debris in her wound. What she doesn't know is that inside of her body, plasma cells are working hard to attack the antigens that could have possibly entered her wound and caused infection. If she ends up having an infection, the B cells in her body have long-term memory, and she'll never get the same infection again. Cell-mediated immunity. Cytotoxic T cells become killer cells who destroy their targets by releasing perforins and releasing fragmentins. Perforins form pores in cells, while fragmentins enter the cell and induce apoptosis. Immune responses in health and disease. Vaccination provides protection against infection, while passive immunity is when antibodies are transferred from one person to another. An example of passive immunity would be breastfeeding between a mother and a baby. A negative effect of this would be if the baby didn't have immunity to a disease that's passed through breastfeeding. Another example of an immune response in health and disease is an autoimmune disease, which is when the body reacts against itself. Systems integration. Every part of the body can be injured or infected. Due to this, the immune system is extremely important in protecting the whole body and maintaining homeostasis. Sources.